What if I told you that the Queen of Witches herself said that the most powerful ritual that you can do is identity shifting? Today we're going to be talking about identity, and this concept comes from none other than Hecate. This is episode 1 of the Dark Feminine Royalty series. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Nikki. I'm an initiated high priestess, witch, psychic medium, and spiritista. And I make a lot of content about divine feminine energy, spirituality, witchcraft, rituals, inner work, metaphysics, all the things. So if that sounds good to you, go ahead and subscribe. This was a game changer for me, and Hecate is one of those energies that if she walks with you and she has your back with something, you can quantum leap. Okay, that's why when any of my spirits told me to do something, but especially her, because of the certain relationship that I have with her, when she tells me to move, I move. Hence my ebook coming out during the Aquarius full moon. I couldn't sleep for 3 days, y'all. I was up for 3 days straight channeling. I could not sleep. I could not put down my computer. It was crazy. But anyway, changing my identity intentionally helped me heal a lot. And the thing that I love about having been a witch for 7-8 years is I have a lot of confidence in my ability to move energy. So I wasn't always like super deep into healing and inner work, okay? For probably the first almost half of my journey, I just did straight up spell work, okay? Just being honest, no inner work, no personal development, just rituals, which is fine. But once I moved into really wanting to heal myself, I noticed that I had the ability to move the energies within me. And when I started like purposely shifting my identity and saying, no, I don't want to be this version of myself anymore. These parts of myself, they no longer serve me. And removing them. And then there's other things that go along with that, y'all, right? Like, you have to behave differently. You have to talk to yourself differently. You have to take aligned action that's in, is cohesive with a new identity. And all that. But I realized that I had this ability, and so do you. Okay? As a spiritual healer, your first and most important client is yourself. And journaling helped a lot with this. Writing everything out helped. Writing down the past version of me that I didn't want to carry anymore and just releasing it helped. And these are all things that Hecate will teach you, okay? And I'm happy that she wanted this to be the focal point for this episode, because this really goes to show that inner work is the real magic. Because, like, let's take someone who does a lot of glamour magic, right? A lot of, like, illusionary magic. They want to twist how people see them, all this stuff, but they don't do their inner work. At that point, it's just smoke and mirrors. It's very energetically superficial, right? In my opinion, that magic is weak as fuck. Because it's very earth level. It's very low level. But when you can combine the two, because I believe both are necessary, spiritual work and inner work, because they both have different purposes. When you can combine the two, that's when you get results. Okay? And one of my favorite things is when I do a new spell to manifest something, like attract something to me, And all of these things start coming into my field without me even trying to guide me to the inner work that I need to be able to hold that blessing. Because I can manifest, I can pull things in. I'm a siren, hello, right? But it's about being able to hold the blessing and grow it and protect it and multiply it, you know? Because a lot of people, like how I was in the first part of my journey, just doing rituals, no inner work. I could attract blessings, but they wouldn't stay. Because I hadn't done my inner work to hold them. And Hecate, as a guide of souls, she's going to guide you on the right path. She's not always the most vocal goddess. I'm not saying she doesn't speak, but, because trust me, when Hecate wants to be heard, she'll be heard, girl. But for the most part, she's a very kind of like behind the shadows type goddess. She's off doing her own thing. If she needs to talk to you, she'll come around and then she'll go back. She likes to communicate through symbolism. You know, keys, dogs, snakes, crossroads, the moon, frogs, owls. Did I say crows already? I don't know. A bunch of different things, right? That's how you'll know that she's there. She has the ability to be in more than one place at once. Because Hecate energy is in everything. There is an aspect of Hecate in every aspect of nature. And one of the most difficult but rewarding chapters of my life that was heavily guided by her was I was trying to heal my past, survive my present, and build my future at the same time. I made a post the other day about the octopus, about how, like, I've been called too much my entire life, and I've been called chaotic and all this stuff because I can multitask. I can do 8 different things at once, no problem. I have that ability to shift through energies very easily. And Hecate is the one that told me that I needed to do that 3-part process at that time of my life. And that was the only way to get where I wanted to go. And that takes a lot of inner work. Because it's about building your capacity, releasing the trauma, updating your beliefs, all this stuff. Because I can tell you from experience, there's been times when just for funsies, I would kind of cast a spell on the inside and hold a certain frequency with the intention of drawing a certain thing in, and it would manifest within hours, tops. Because it was within me. Okay. So if the Queen of Witches, the goddess of witchcraft, says that inner work is important when it comes to, you know, your ritual work and manifesting, or protection, or releasing or banishing, whatever the concept is, believe it. Okay? Hecate is the inspiration for all of my dark feminine energy content. It's an offering to her, as well as the feminine collective. And I came out with my ebook, which will correspond with the Dark Feminine Royalty series. It's about 9 different goddesses, their story, their core teachings, their symbolism, their background, and then you have 3 journal prompts per goddess. And in that ebook, there's a link on the PDF for goddess invocations, which I'm going to share with y'all as well on my YouTube channel. So after every goddess episode, I will upload the goddess invocation, but the journal prompts and the other information about these 9 dark goddesses is in the ebook, okay? It's called the Dark Feminine Ultimate Workbook, and I am so proud of it. And it's a game changer, okay? If you're interested in the ebook, go to sirensnectar.com/transform. And if you haven't taken the Dark Goddess quiz, which will tell you, depending on your answer, which Dark Goddess is currently calling out to you, definitely check that out at sirensnectar.com/goddess. So the ebook, you can find it at sirensnectar.com/transform. The Dark Goddess quiz is sirensnectar.com/goddess. I'll put all the links in the description. And make sure to check out the invocation after this episode for Hecate. Alright, I love y'all. Bye.